Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Studio Series number 81 Bumblebee movie Wheeljack. You can see him there in his robot mode. We'll go ahead and move that off to the side. We're going to look at his box real quick. Yep, you can see a CG model Wheeljack there on the front with Studio Series and 81 Transformers and Checkar and Hasbro and Wheeljack and Bumblebee logo and a window. You got the Bumblebee logo up here. Of course, you got the CG render and deluxe class on the side. You got another CG render with an Autobot logo and authentic and all that stuff on that side. You got a manufacturing stuff on the bottom, and on the back you got product shots and warnings and all that stuff. And Wheeljack and the Autobots are overwhelmed by the Decepticon attack and must escape Cybertron if they hope to survive. And in the box, of course, is the instructions, which are pretty straightforward for the most part. It's kind of very interesting transformation, to say the least. But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Wheeljack. He is a kind of squat-looking, kind of a creamy, off-white-looking robot. You can see that right there. You got the, of course, the red and green right there on the front of his chest. You got the Autobot symbol. He has his weird mask mouth with the ears and the blue right there, I guess, instead of the, translucent. But yeah, because they glow blue sometimes. You got some gray down here. You got some green striping down the shins. You got mostly white, some gray right there. He's got his little back wing things over there on his shoulders now. Yeah, you can see he's decently filled out. You also got to see a Atomic stage port right there. And you can kind of see some hollowness, but the way he's shaped and stuff, that's kind of more or less excess anyway. So it's actually not really that hollow at all. He's just got weirdly bulky legs. I also see a bit of the car mode right back there too. He's also got some tech detailing. You can see a bit on the arm as well. So that's a thing. You can see, I think, like a lot of the Bumblebee figures, kind of squat, but also very bulky. And I kind of think that's where a lot of the thing is. So if your whole thing is height, you're going to be disappointed with these guys. But if you just, if you don't mind being a little shorter, if they're just, I guess thicker built, well, there you go. You got these guys, because yeah, they're got a bit of more thick building than a lot of the G1-esque Transformers you got usually. He looks overall pretty nice. And of course, he's got his gun, which, again, pretty much the same as everyone else's, although sometimes different scale. You can peg that into his hand, although on mine it's weirdly tight. Yeah, you can peg that in. You can hold it, so it's he's not letting go of that anytime soon. Yeah, so you can do all that stuff. You can also, if you don't want him holding it, and you don't want to pull that clip off. Whoops. If you don't want him holding it, you can also, of course, there's a peg hole back here. You can just go ahead and peg that on like that. Now it's on his back. Looks nice like that. There you go. Articulation. He's got a ball jointed head, so left and right. You got a little bit up and down, mostly up, and a bit of wiggle. His shoulders, you can see this is one of my biggest complaints. These don't tab in super securely, so it's easy to accidentally just do that. Don't like that, but that's I think my biggest complaint about this figure. Shoulders though can go do full 360. You got outward about that far, very tight, which again causes these to kind of come undone. These do go around, so you can adjust them how you want to have them sit. Elbow or biceps, you got bicep swivels right there. Elbows are double jointed, so you do a full curl, which is nice. You got a waist swivel, pretty much unhindered. Mostly, although they kind of get to this point where then they kind of bump into this, but at that point you really don't need to have the waist swiveling any further. You got forward about that far. Actually, if you go a little outward, you can go pretty high up. Got backwards that far. Outward, you have about that far before it kind of stops due to sculpting. You do have a thigh swivel, and knees just about 90 degrees. And ankles can go forward and back a bit thanks to transformation. And they also do have some side to side, although not as much as I'd hope. And they're also very tight. So yeah, you got about that much ankle tilt, but it's enough for a decent amount of poses. Yeah, this is posability. And of course, also in the box, you got the backdrop. And that's the thing. Put them on there. It's the same scene as a lot of them. So you got the Cybertron, that war thing going on. You got B127 right there, and the bridge burning or whatever. And you got 81 up here. It's the same scene. A lot of them have that exact same scene because that's where they were at. I mean, there's not a whole lot more you can do with these Cybertron only guys. Yep. Quick comparisons. Here he is with Ratchet and Brawn. Just the other figures in the wave for the most part. Again, he's a bit shorter than Ratchet, but a bit taller than Brawn, which actually checks out more or less, I guess, for scale hounds. And here he is with a Bumblebee movie Optimus, just to give you an idea on that front. Yep. Yeah, pretty straightforward that. I do generally like this robot mode, most of the most part. Just the only thing is my complaint is the shoulder bit's not really tabbing in super securely. That's my biggest complaint. But beyond that, okay, so transformation, though, is pretty interesting. For one, you want to take this piece and move that up and extend that out and move that down right there and extend that fully out. Go ahead and take the arms and take these shoulder pieces and collapse them down against the arms. Move the arms forward like this. Untab these pieces so you can get the head out. I believe rotate the head around 180. Extend that out like that. That's the weird part. You got to go ahead and then rotate these around as you're doing so. Bring these up like that. Bring the arms up like that. And you got to rotate and bring them up like so. The arms will clip together like that. All that stuff. So, and then you go ahead right here. You want to go ahead and take the waist and turn it 180 like that. And then from here, you want to do is go ahead and unclip these from each other. Unclip that, and you want to rotate this part around, up and around like this. It's going to tab in right here. You want to rotate it up and around like that, and tab it in like that. Be a little dodgy until again it's all together. And then this part right here, you want to bring this around and down like that, but don't clip it in just yet. Same thing on this side. Unclip these from each other. Rotate this up and around. Bring it in, tab it in right here on this fender. Make it all lined up. And then bring this around, but don't start clipping it in yet. Now right here, what you want to do is bend the knees right here. Give yourself some clearance. Then you want to take the shins. You want to slide forward like this. Slide forward a little bit and you rotate them around like that and then slide them back in. Same thing on this side. Bring it forward, rotate it around, slide it back in. And then you go ahead and rotate the legs up and in like that. And then you go ahead and tab these together like that. You bring the feet down like so. Bring these down and this will tab over all this. Same on the side, they'll tab it in multiple spots. If you got it all lined up properly. Right there, like that. Tab that all in. Bring this up and forward like that. That up like there. Going to bring this down and this will tab in multiple spots. Just give it a good squeeze. Just tab that all in. And right here, back here, you want to take the arms and you want to bend them. To use that double elbow hinge and bend them so they come back like this and then slide them forward. And these little tabs right here will go into little slots on the roof. Like that. And then you go ahead and take these little white pieces on the arms and bend them outward a bit. They don't go that far, but you can bend them outward a bit, and there you go. That is Wheeljack's vehicle mode. I rather like this vehicle mode, honestly. It's got that, thing of Cybertronian feel, but at the same time also still feels like a race car. Again, you got more red and green striping here. You got this green right here. You got this really nice looking just windshield. You got all that stuff. It's got these venting almost, front spoiler and all that stuff. Again, painted wheels. They're clip-ons, I believe. They're clip-ons, but they hide the fact they're clip-ons pretty well. Yeah, they got painted white with some detailing on the back end. Is a little open, but I don't mind it so much. It's not a problem to me. There's a bit of a hole here, but it kind of feels intentional. Yeah, so the thing is weird. It's just the only thing that's weird compared to his, I guess, regular self is just how forward set the cockpit is. But otherwise, you also got this green stripe here as well. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's a very nice looking vehicle mode, and it rolls pretty well. It's very low to the ground, but still rolls, although you can feel things dragging a bit, but not the end of the world, that. But he does roll, which is nice. And yeah, his gun here, you can take, and right there, there's this little slot thingy, which if you want, you can take it for this side right here. You can take it and put it into the slot there, and it, you know, gun storage if you want. So, yep, that's the thing. And real quick, here he is compared to Ratchet and Brawn from the Bumblebee movie. Again, roughly the same size overall. He's a bit bigger than Brawn here, a bit smaller than Ratchet as expected. And yeah, that's Bumblebee movie Wheeljack. And I like this figure a lot. It's the best of the wave, I feel. It's the best of this deluxe wave here. I think overall, unless you really hate kind of the more squat, bulky proportions that the Bumblebee movie figures have, this is a really solid looking toy. This is, you know, it's got a good looking robot mode. It's very somewhat G1 reminiscent while being its own thing. The vehicle mode's really nice. The transformation itself is actually pretty clever. Was not some of it, again, it's you can figure it out pretty quickly once you start going, but for the most part it's still a pretty clever transformation. My only complaint is the shoulder pieces don't fully tab in for real robot mode, so it's really easy when you start manipulating the shoulder for it to all kind of untabbing itself, but that's a fairly minor complaint. Honestly, I think it's worth checking out for sure. It's the star of the wave as far as I'm concerned. It's really good and definitely worth picking up, even if, you know, maybe you're only mildly interested in the Bumblebee movie stuff. I would say it's the best of the way for sure. Just go ahead and pick one up. I don't think you'll regret it. Beyond that, actually I don't think I have this tabbed in all the way. I did. Beyond that, that's it for this one. I hope you found this informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and check out my coffee and my Patreon. And just to see you next time with another video review.